Hello, and I'm Tina, and welcome to Lakeshore Academy. Now, I know I haven't been on like I usually do, but I have been really prepping for my 2018-2019 school year because I'm going to have a rising ninth grader. So, I have never homeschooled high school before, so it's a new experience for me. So, that's why you haven't been seeing me. Now, I have several different things that I have been using that I've been looking at. And these flashcards is one of them. I'm gonna be coming back and forth on and off all day. Um, I think I got maybe about 6 videos or maybe 5 that I'm trying to plan to do. But with further ado, I want to really talk about these flashcards that I am really liking. Now, it comes from a company. I don't know if you guys know who Dr. Boyce Watkins is, but he is like a financial phenomenon dealing with business, and he's really revolutionizing education for children in general. But it is his curriculum and his stuff is designed for African American children with their perspective, if I'm saying it correctly. The information that he gives is universal. It can help anybody because he's a financial genius, in my opinion. Um, it helps anybody regardless of your race or background or whatever. But his curriculum, you'll notice that it's geared towards melon tone skin, because you'll notice that his slides will feature different tones or colors that represent the African American community. With that being said, the content that he provides is so awesome. So even if you're not African American, but you're teaching economics, or you're trying to teach your child finances, or you're trying to teach them consumer, or trying to teach them about stocks and bonding and all different kind of things dealing with economics and just regular old living with dealing with life skills and finances that they don't teach you in school, you should check that out regardless of your race. You should check it out because he really has some really good information. So the first thing that I want to show you guys is these are some business cards. It's called the Black Millionaires of Tomorrow Fund Finance Flashcards. Now, I have been looking for flashcards that's dealing with finance for a very long time. And they're pretty pricey dealing with the flashcards, but then when you get them, they're kind of bland, or they're kind of like they're way over. I'm not gonna say overdone, but they're too complicated, if you know what I mean. And it's the presentation is very bland. What I particularly love about the Black Business School flashcards, because he have 2 different sets, and I'm gonna talk about both of them. He has this one, which is about finances, and he also has the entrepreneurship flashcards, and I absolutely love both of them. The reason why I like them, because I'm a person about simplicity. I'm a person about get to the point and make it very thorough. So with that being said, it comes with, this is the presentation. It looks like this. What I like about it is that it's very simple. So if you had no prior knowledge of finances, it will be perfect for you. If you had prior knowledge of finance, it just to sharpen your skills, and it's very simple. So it has some different little, like, I don't know what you call these cards, but I just say keep reference for your flashcards. But let me give you an example of how one of his flashcards looks. Like, say for example, you're talking about mortgage. Yes, I love flashcards. And the Check Academy. Say for example, you're talking about mortgage, right? So he shows you a picture of mortgage. He shows you what that looks like, because a lot of us need a visual cue in order to remember what something is, especially if you're dealing with a child that has dyslexia, dysgraphia, dysphoria, has just a basic problem with spelling. The key, what I'm reading this book, the key to it is always having a visual picture. So if your child's having a problem with memorization of a certain concept, provide a picture that the child can memorize or can be like a cue to the brain that, okay, this means this. So that's why I like them. Because it has a it has a visual cue, which is mortgage. It has the word, it has a picture, and it has the pronunciation of that word, of how it sounds when you say it, not necessarily how it looks when it's spelled, but how it sounds when it's said. Yes, it's very, very perfect for right brain thinkers. So after that, you ask the child what a mortgage is, or you can actually just tell the child what a mortgage is. And on the back, it has just a simple explanation of what a mortgage is. Excuse me. It says an agreement that allows you to borrow money from a bank by offering something of value like a home. So very, very simple. A child can grasp this whether they're 7 or if they're getting late in the game, 14, they can still get it. Taxes. And like I said, all these cards are, you will notice that it's going to have different shades of African American children on the cards, because it's for the Black business school. But like I said, the concepts and the things that the teaching, the concepts are universal regardless of your race. So it doesn't matter. These concepts can be used by anybody. But like I said, it is directed to the African American community, dealing with, so they can see. The reason why I feel like this is so important, because every culture has something. And I have noticed that it has been lax with the African American community with things that represent us. So sometimes when you're trying to encourage your child to be an entrepreneur, or try to go against the grain, doing something different from what everybody else is doing, and encourage and motivate them, it's kind of hard for them to really see themselves or visualize themselves in such a way when they don't see any outside outlets that represent them. So the reason why I particularly love these flashcards is because my children will be able to see representation of themselves on the card in a very, very positive way. They're not half dressed and all this other stuff. It's very, very well done. It's tasteful. So even if you're not African American, like I said, this right here still be good for you too. So like I said, taxes, and all of them have cute little pictures of different children, because this is geared towards children. So it has different children doing different things with the word. So here you have taxes, and then on the back it has money you must pay to the government of your income, business profit, or consumer goods. And these flashcards can actually branch off into other discussions, like maybe your child don't know what a business profit is, or know what an income is, or know what consumer goods is. That can branch off into a unit study or something else in which you can talk about your child, although it is going to go over those within this curriculum. So you see equity, cash, bulls market. So it just has a whole lot of different things that your child will be exposed to at a young age, regardless of race. Okay, now say for example you're trying to encourage your child to be an entrepreneur, and I am trying to do that for my children, to encourage them to find their own way, so to speak, and don't have to work for someone else if possible, and provide jobs instead of trying to find one. You go to the Black Business School. If you want to get these flashcards, you go to the blackbusinessschool.com, and I think just go up in the tabs and you will be able to see their little shop, because they have t-shirts, they have cups, they have all kind of like cool stuff. They have motivational books, documentaries. It's not just flashcards, it's like a whole educational system. And also you'll notice at the end of the at the end of these financial flashcards, it asks you about, and if I can find it, normally you can't find certain stuff when you're going live, but anyway, I found it. Yay! So like I said, Dr. Boyce Watkins has a online school in which your child can take. Dr. Boyce Watkins is actually a was a college professor, and at one time in 2002, he was actually the only African American that had graduated from like these high, I believe, financial schools. I mean, like he's like a financial like genius. So it encourages you to enroll your child into the Black Millionaires of Tomorrow School.com. My kids are actually we started the program, and due to life and things happening, we haven't finished it yet. So what we already done and they passed, we're gonna just redo to reiterate the skills and try to just build on that, and then we're gonna carry on and like go through the complete course. And I really like it because it's teaching me a whole lot of stuff, because I didn't know a whole lot of this stuff that he teaches, and he does it in small little bite-sized pieces. So it's not like a long class. It's like short videos with him talking over the videos and showing picture dramatizations, and at the end, to make sure that your child dissected or understand the information, the child will actually have a quiz at the end. So based on what your child makes, and it grades it for you, so it's super duper easy. So based on what your child makes, you know whether or not your child has the information accomplished. My son and daughter did so great, and I was so shocked how my son was doing the math in his head based on how he explained the concept of cash and income and saving and percentages in his head. And I was like, okay, well maybe he just got it. No, the course is not expensive. That's one thing that I like about Dr. Boyce Watkins. He tried to make the things very, very affordable. I can't remember what the exact price is at present, but I know it's not over $100. And sometimes he runs different sales. Sometimes you can get it for certain courses. You have you can get certain courses like $49. It's just different prices. You need to go look on the website, and I should have looked at it before I got on here, but I didn't, and I'm sorry. But it's very, very affordable for the content and the resources and the information that he's teaching. It is well worth way more than what he's charging, because where he's teaching your children about finance is what he taught college kids in college. So your child is not getting like a dumbed down version of finances. They're not getting a dumbed down version of math and how the economy works. They're getting a college education. So when they complete this course, they will know what college kids know when they go to school for finance, because he's teaching you all that, and he breaks it down so that even the smallest child can understand, all the way up until the high schoolers and stuff like that. And what I particularly like, sometimes we feel as if we have a special needs child, or we have a child that learns differently, this will not be a good thing for them, and we kind of like dumb down stuff unintentionally. Well, you shouldn't do that, because this program works for the geniuses, and it works for children that have special needs, because the way that he does it is in such a way that it appeals to all different learning types, whether you're a left brain thinker, have to have everything in order and very, very methodic, or whether you're a right brain thinker who needs visual cues. He has it all in this particular program. So it will go across the spectrum, and it'll appeal to every type of learner. That's another reason why I like it. Now, let me get to these Black Millionaires of Tomorrow Entrepreneurship Flashcards. I am loving this. I'm going to be using this later on in the school year with my daughter, because she's taking economics. And I'm going to be using both of these along with some other things that I have as well. Tell the truth, I'm going to be needing to go over this. I don't know what all this stuff is myself, but being that he make it so simple, I can understand it. Like common stock. And it has a visual cue. It has a little dramatization on the front. And also it has what that means in simple terms. I don't know if you guys can really see it. Okay. And then what is a copyright? This is stuff they don't even go over with you in school. If you go over this in your particular high school or middle school, in public school, that's amazing. But technically, these are not things that you usually go over. And then if you do go over it, you're not going over in detail. You kind of like brushing over just to say that you did it. But it's going to go on and you're going to understand what these concepts actually mean. And I encourage you just to enroll in the Black Business School if you can. Enroll in it because they'll go in harmony with these particular flashcards and also the lessons and stuff. But if you can't do that, that's fine. The flashcards can stand alone, in my opinion, basically being your foundation to economics and finances, and then you can go out and outsource, finding other resources go with it. But these cards are simply amazing. I absolutely love them, and we are definitely going to be using these some more. We already started with these, but I just got these entrepreneurship cards. Actually, I had met him in May, and I was telling him how much I love these flashcards. And he is so amazing. I was telling him my story, telling him about my son, telling him about my daughter, and telling him, well, basically about our family. So, and I was telling him, like, you should do this, that, I really like this, and da. You know how I am about homeschool stuff anyway, and curriculum. But, so I was telling him how much I liked it and different stuff like that, how I used it with different learning styles, different learning types. And I was listening to him at the conference, and I was like, I want these flashcards so bad, but he had so many awesome things. I was like, I don't know which one I want to get. But I want to get the flashcards. So after he did an interview with me, and he interviewed me and talked with me about these cards that I already purchased, and also about his Black Business School for kids. And I was telling him, yeah, we enrolled, but we need to complete the program. But we are liking it, what we're doing so far. Don't you know he gave me these for absolutely free? He said, don't worry about it. I said, I'm getting ready to go and purchase. I told him, I'm getting ready to go and buy your flashcards right now. He was like, don't worry about it. I'm going to give it to you for free. Thank you so much for your interview. And it wasn't like it was planned. I just saw him coming. I was going in a door. He was coming out the same door. And I was like, hey, Dr. Watkins, just start talking. And he was like, I didn't really think we was going to have a conversation, but he was like, yeah. He pulled to the side, started talking. And that's how we got in a conversation. And he gave me these. So I would have bought him even if he didn't give them to me. But hey, you're going to give them to him? I'm like, hey, thank you. So you guys go and get these. These are simply amazing. I absolutely love them. And I'm going to come back by, because I know that a lot of people are looking for different things out there. They come to me like, do you know anything that's directed to the African American community? And I'm like, well, not really. I'm going to start searching and see what I find. And so we're doing a little bit of African American studies this year. Well, we do it all the time, but I'm talking about more in depth. And so I'm trying to include a whole lot of different genres of different things about our culture and different stuff like that. But like I said, this is not just for Black people or African American people, whichever one you prefer to say, whichever term. It's for everybody, but it is geared towards us because you'll notice that you see our representation throughout the amazing curriculum. But the terms and the terminology are universal. So it is awesome to see resources for children that isn't dumbed down. Yes, and the Check Academy, this is not dumbed down by the least. Actually, like I said, once your child completes this program, your child will have a college education on finance, and I am not kidding. They will have a college education without the big cost of going to college. They will understand things and know how to handle things, and we'll be able to give them a better start off on life because they already know this. They don't have to learn from trial and error like most of us do. Yeah, this is the kind of learning. I'm really trying to work really, really hard not to try to dumb down information. I know we kind of like say, well, I don't do that. Well, sometimes we do. And children has a unique way of learning if we just allow them to learn. Even if you think something is a little bit too above their grade level, so what? Just let them try it. You never know. Like, I tested my son, let my child try some pre-algebra. I'm like, Isaiah, I'm like, I know this is not your grade level. If you try it and you don't do well, it's okay, because this is like high school pre-algebra. It's not really a big deal. If you don't understand it, I just want you to try it. Don't you know? The boy did the pre-algebra and did it good. And I'm like, okay. And I learned that from this book I'm reading, Right Brain Thinkers in the Left Brain Thinking World, if I said the title correctly. So don't dumb down information. Don't automatically assume because your child in the 5th grade, they can't do something in 7th grade, or they can't do something in high school, they can't do a college level. If they're interested in it, or if it's presented in the right way, they can do whatever. So with that being said, I'm going to leave here. But I just wanted to talk about these amazing flashcards. And yes, we are enrolled in Black Business School for children. And hopefully we will finish by the end of this year. I'm hoping, but life happens. That we finish it, because we actually go through it together as a family. So everybody's schedules need to go together. So that's why it's taking us longer, because if I just let them do it by themselves, they could have been done. But I want us to learn together. I want it to be like a family project that we learn this together. So that's why it's taking a little longer than anticipated. And like I said, life happens. So again, this is Tina from Lecture Academy, showing you guys these amazing flashcards. You get it from theblackbusinessschool.com. I can't remember how much they are, but they are worth it. They are really, really worth it. Remind me of these when our funds open. Okay. Entrepreneurship Academy, I will remind you of these. These are simply amazing. I know you're going to love them, because I love them, and we both are on the path of not dumbing down information for our homeschool. So you're going to love them. So I'm going to cut off, and then I'm going to come back with some more stuff. With some other, if you're looking for Black history, see, we already covered the finance and entrepreneurship flashcards. Well, guess what? I have flashcards that are based for African American